Have you ever looked so closely at a flower that it almost stopped looking like a flower and started looking like a landscape? Like soft hills and valleys made of color, like glowing light wrapped around giant waves of petals. Georgia O'Keeffe loved to zoom in so close on flowers that they filled the entire canvas. So close that the petals felt enormous, bold, and powerful. Today, we're going to do that too. We're going to zoom in, slow down, and let color do the talking. Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to paint this beautiful poppy inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe, and I'm going to make it so easy that it'll be a perfect lesson for kids in elementary classrooms, as well as for adults who are complete beginners. Pause the video and take screenshots of each of these 4 templates I'm showing you. Then print them out for your students. Give them A and B templates to keep at their desk and look at as they start their drawing. Show them how they can put the 2 pages together to match up the image. After they finish drawing this, they can look at the more complex C and D templates and match them up to complete the rest of their drawing. I'm taping down some 11 by 14-inch multimedia paper, but taping down your paper is totally optional. Look at your A and B templates while you draw the flower onto your paper. You can also draw along with me and pause the video as needed. Use very light pencil marks to make the basic shape of your flower. This way, you can easily erase any mistakes that you make. Don't worry if your flower doesn't look exactly like the flower that I'm drawing. This round area is the center of the poppy, also called the stigma. Notice how curvy and wavy my flower petals are. I'm adding a couple lines here to show the large petal on the bottom. Once you finish drawing this part of your flower, you can switch and look at the C and D templates while you draw the rest of your flower, or just draw along with me and pause the video as needed. I'm continuing to add the lines for this bottom petal. I'm adding a couple more lines over here on the right. I've got the edge of a petal sticking out here. This line will become another large petal sticking out on the side. I'm drawing the top part of the petal up here. I'm adding a couple more lines on this side. A soft line here divides these 2 petals. Now for a circle inside the stigma. I'm adding a few more lines at the bottom of the painting and a couple loops right here. Now for a tiny circle inside this circle. I'm dividing this in half with a straight line, then adding 2 diagonal lines on either side on the left and 2 diagonal lines on either side on the right. Now adding 2 more evenly spaced lines on top and 2 evenly spaced lines on the bottom. I'm drawing a loop to connect each of these lines. Notice that the loop I'm drawing goes all the way to the edge of the circle. If you want to keep it simple, you could just skip this and leave the circle inside your poppy as is without adding all of these details. Once I'm done drawing the details inside the stigma, I can erase the lines because they were just there to guide my drawing. I can also erase the circle. I'm leaving the circle at the very center. Once you're done drawing the poppy, you're ready to add paint. I'm grabbing a touch of dark blue acrylic paint and some white paint. I'm mixing a tiny bit of the blue into the white to make a very light blue. I'm using a size 8 round brush so I can paint around the wavy flower petals. I'm adding some white paint and a touch of water to blend the color and make it a bit lighter. Keep going until you have filled in your background. I'm adding some more light blue down here. Notice it's so light that it's almost white. If you add water to your brush, it will help the paint to blend more smoothly onto the paper. You may find it helpful to look at Georgia O'Keeffe's original poppy painting while you work. Here it is in case you want to take a screenshot of it. I'll also show it again at the end of the video. Once you finish filling in the background with a light blue, you're ready to mix some bright orange colors. I'm mixing one color that has a lot of red with some yellow and another color that has just a bit of red with a lot of yellow. See how when I mix them together, the colors are slightly different? Play around with mixing your own colors and don't worry at all if they don't match my colors. I'm adding a bunch of white into this orangier color and adding it to this top petal. Then I'm going back and adding some yellow and white to these edges and adding in some red details. I'm using the same orange color for the next petal, but I'm using the redder color in these areas, then adding water to my brush so I can blend this color in with the orange color. I'm adding some dark red along the bottom edge, using a mid-orange tone over here, and dipping my brush in water to blend some yellow on top. I'm dipping in water again, then grabbing some red to add along this top edge. Frequently adding water to your brush will help the paint to blend more easily. I'm filling in this area with orange, then blending some red on top. I'm filling in over here with orange as well, then blending some lighter orange and yellow into this top area. Adding some medium orange in these areas, then some red at the base, adding some red down here, dipping in water so the color blends more smoothly. I'm grabbing some orange with white mixed into it and filling in this petal, then using a wet brush to blend some darker orange on top. This orange I'm using is mostly red with just a touch of yellow. I'm filling in most of this area with medium orange, then adding that darker orange on top. Again, it's very important to dip your brush in water. A wet brush helps the colors to blend more smoothly. More orange over here with some red around the edges, and more orange with some dark orange blended on top. Adding some lighter highlights on top. I love how this looks. I'm blending the lighter orange in with the darker reddish orange down here as well. I'm mixing a brownish, blackish color, then using a very tiny brush and some water to add it in right here. And filling in this area while frequently adding water to my brush. I'm using very watered down paint to add these thin details right here. I made a yellowish, grayish, green color for the very center. Then re-adding the circle using the dark paint. I'm putting some more dark color down here and then adding a bit of green where the stem is. When you're all done, carefully remove the tape. If it starts to tear, stop and gently pull the tape from the other direction. I hope you love how your painting turns out. Up next, watch this video to learn how to paint Monet's water lilies.